welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Kiki Mbayoe, and for this tutorial, I'm showing you my no foundation makeup routine. And while I was editing this video, I was like, oh wow, because I did this look in June and it's August right now, and I've been holding on to this video for a while. So it was really exciting for me even to just see how I did this look, because it was one of my favorite ones. Right now, what you'll see is me doing my eyebrows, which is not very much because I had my eyebrows threaded at the time. So I literally just used some brow gel, brushed them up. Right now I'm looking through my little fishbowl of brushes so I could find a brush to conceal my brows. I'm using my brush from Glow by Mo. I'm going to link everything that I use in this video in the description. So when you're done watching, you can always go in there to look for the products I use. And this is just me concealing my brows. Excuse me. I left in, I know I left quite a bit of detail. Quite a bit of detail for this just because I didn't want to cut out too many parts. Honestly, because this is a video that I might revisit for myself because I like this look so much and I'll definitely have to recreate it at some point in time. Yeah. I feel like I should be saying things right now, but it's really just me concealing my brows at this point. So there's not too much for me to say. Okay, let me talk about this concealer I'm using. I'm using the Pro Longwear concealer from MAC, and I'm using the shade NC50 in this video. And the NC50 is very similar to my skin tone, which is why I'm using it at the top of my brows. Normally I would just do my foundation, but since I'm not using foundation in this video, I'm using a concealer that's very, very similar to my skin tone. Excuse me again. Girl, yeah, concealing my eyelids too, because I'm doing eyeshadow later on. So while I conceal my brow, I just get this step over with as well. And please don't clock me. Please don't clock me when you see me forgetting to set this, because I always forget to use setting powder immediately. So I conceal my eyelids, I conceal my brows, and now I'm going into my under eye concealer and just concealer in other parts of my face. And I'm using the exact same color shade. Girl, I'm using the exact same shade, which I mentioned is pretty much the same shade as my skin tone. With my shades from MAC, I usually use the NC50 or the NW45. I'm more of an NW45 than I am an NC50. Because I have like more of a warm undertone. But for concealer, I usually like to use a cool toned. Ooh, girl. I usually like to use a cool tone while I use the NW for like my foundation or for bronzer or whatever. Now I'm using my Studio Fix concealer in the shade NC43. It's very bright. It's very, very bright. I usually use this in like the winter, even if I don't really get like much lighter. I like it if I really want to go for a bright under eye, and just because of how dark, well, not really how dark the concealer is, but this concealer oxidizes on me and usually will get a bit darker. So the NC43 with the NC50 balance out very, very well on my skin tone, which you'll see after this is blended. The way I blend is I like to start with the darker shade blend that out, and then I blend my lighter shade into the darker shade, and I just like to start with all the edges as I blend everything out. I hope you're having a lot of fun watching this, because I'm having a lot of fun making this. And I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I don't want to pause or stop, so I'm just talking. I'm using more concealer here, and I like to conceal just around my nose because that part of my face is just so weird. Like the sides of my nose, I feel like it's kind of hollow. So I'd always like to put concealer in there, and then I like to put concealer like above my lip as well. Highlighting again. I don't know why I didn't just do this before, like while I was doing my initial concealer placement, but sometimes I like to just blend my under eyes first and then see how the rest of my face looks. But I use quite a bit of concealer all over my face. Not all over, technically not all over, but I use quite a bit of concealer when I'm not using foundation. The prolonger concealer I really like if I'm not using foundation, because it's such a nice full coverage matte foundation, and low-key it almost is like a foundation in itself. And I'm just blending at this point. It's just a lot of blending at this point. Yeah. Blend, 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 blend. She's blending. This step is not really that important. I feel like this reverse contour step is one that you could generally skip. I just like to do it because I like to contour. Contour is my favorite step when it comes to makeup. So yeah, that's why I do that, because I really like a, snatch chisel. Hallelujah, amen. She's still blending this concealer. I promise you, I blended this concealer for like 10 minutes. No, I'm joking. I blended it for like 7 minutes, maybe. Maybe 10. I was just blending for a while. I'm just like adding more wherever I felt like I needed to. In general, when I'm like doing my makeup, I do a lot of it on vibes based off of whatever concept I have in my head. So I like to start with just a little bit of product, and then I build up, which you probably noticed, but if you didn't notice, then now you know. So yeah, my concealer is all fully blended, and you could see how like it's such a good match with my skin tone, and everything just looks very nice and seamless. And this is the point in time where you will see me forget to use setting powder immediately. I always forget, and I know you're supposed to set your under eyes immediately or whatever, but honestly, not setting my under eyes kind of works for me. It kind of works for me. While you're seeing me do my contour with my Juvia's Place palette, I'll do my little rants. It just kind of works for me, because you know how people let their under eye concealer dry before they start to blend? I don't do that. I don't do that because if I'm using like a concealer that's like super matte, then it's just going to dry out, and then it's going to be difficult to blend. So I don't really let my concealer sit for anything more than like 10 to 15 seconds, and I just start blending, and then it could dry afterwards or whatever. And this is still me doing contour, and I'm only using powder contour on this day, and I'm using an eyeshadow shade from my Juvia's Place Zulu palette, and it's the brown shade in that palette. This eyeshadow shade, I kid you not, is my favorite thing to use for contour / bronzer. It's just the only shade that I've used that really works on my skin tone. Anyways, now I'm setting my under eyes with my Studio Fix Powder Plus Foundation in the shade MC45. And I can't really tell. Oh, the reason why I started using Studio Fix as an under eye setting powder is actually because One of my coworkers at MAC did my makeup, and then she used the Studio Fix as an under eye setting powder, and I kid you not, like, it lasted all day. I don't think my eyes creased once. I barely had to do any touch-ups, and it was just a game changer. I recently started using a real setting powder though, and I'll tell you guys about that in subsequent videos, so please subscribe and turn on my post notifications so you stay up to date on everything I'm doing. But yeah, Studio Fix foundation, powder foundation as a setting powder is really, 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 really clutch, especially if you want that like seamless, full coverage, matte under eye. And now I'm using my actual foundation shade, which is the NW45 in the Studio Fix powder foundation as well. And I'm just using that to blend out my full face so that everything is nice and seamless and blended out together. And I'm using my 109 brush, which is also from MAC, which is literally my favorite brush. It actually is sold as a contour brush, but I use this as a powder brush because it just works. It just works. And this is another thing that I found out about from someone at MAC. So shout out to all the MAC girlies. You're amazing. Love, 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 love. I don't know why I'm still blending. I don't know why I'm still blending my face at this point, but you have to blend and look super, super duper seamless. Okay, I finished at that point. I think I'm going to start contouring again. Okay, no, I'm not. I'm doing eyeshadow now. Sorry, I'm seeing like I haven't watched this video like seven times while editing. So I'm doing my eyeshadow now, and I'm using that same brown eyeshadow in the outer corner of my eyes. I always like to start from there when I'm blending because I like to use my eyeshadow. Sorry, I didn't say that right. I like to create kind of like a wing cat eye effect even when I'm not wearing eyeliner, so I like to start from that outer V and I just blend it into the crease as I'm going along. This brush is from BH Cosmetics. I got it like 5 years ago. That brush is part of the first brush sets that I got for myself, and now I'm using my 217 brush from MAC just to blend that out a bit more. There was no product on the 217 brush at the point in time when I was using it. I was just using it to blend out the eyeshadow into my crease while still keeping that definition in my outer V. What's next? Now I'm using another brown eyeshadow. I know that's the shade Saddle from my MAC palette, and now I'm using that in my crease as well. This is so much fun. Yep, she is blending. I was singing along to the music that my sister was listening to at this point, and I was also watching a YouTube video as well. It was by my friend Erin. She was doing it like a quiet time type of situation. It was very interesting to watch because that video is very similar to how I have like my own quiet times. Anyway, sorry, I lost track there. Right now I'm pretending to do a cut crease. I just used the exact same brush that I used for my concealer, and I cleaned up around my eyeshadow a bit over my eyelids. I didn't add any extra concealer whatsoever because I'm lazy. I can be very lazy sometimes, but you know, I believe in working smarter and not harder, so I didn't add any extra concealer and I just used whatever was left on the brush over my eyelids. And I also don't set my eyelids after this. I just don't really see the point because I kind of already set my eyelids with powder before. Ooh, okay. I kind of set it because I'm using this brush to tap in the concealer. Not me acting like I actually didn't know what I did. Well, I kid you not, I didn't know what I did. I was actually doing this makeup on Fibre, so it turned out so good. So this is going to be my official makeup routine. So, no, I'm kidding. I have like 15 to 30 different ways that I do my makeup. I'm just kidding. I'm not joking. I'm actually not joking. I just do it on vibes every single time. No, I'm not. I'm joking. I actually do it on vibes, but like, there's always a concept in my head. I'm always looking on Pinterest at different makeup looks, and at the same time, I watch a lot of makeup tutorials myself, and not even as much as I used to before, but I just have a whole inventory in my head of things. So whenever I'm doing my own face, I kind of will just pull things from my inventory and I just like randomly add things together and everything just comes together and it works. Right now, I'm using a shimmer on my lid. That I think is All That Glitters from MAC. I'll just link everything I used in the description. It's in the description. I think I'm using All That Glitters, and then I use another shade that's kind of like a gold. It's called Objects d'Art. I know I didn't say that right. Please don't yell at me. Every time I'm telling a customer about that shade, I'm just like, yeah, it's called Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so I'm packing the shimmer on my lid is what's happening here, and I really take my time with that, and I just keep building it up until I'm like, okay, that's enough color. Yeah. Wow. Right now I'm just using a darker brown to create more depth in my outer V.
I actually forgot that I know how to do eyeshadow. Can you believe it?
Blending out my crease again. This is just a long process. And I'm contouring my nose very slightly with that light brown eyeshadow from my MAC palette Saddle. It's very close to my skin tone, I can't even lie, but I feel like it works as a nose contour, especially when I don't want to do like something that's super harsh. And I'm using my 217 brush for that as well. I just use the same brush for a bunch of things. Now I'm doing blush, and I'm using my Sweet as Cocoa blush. It's from MAC as well, and it's like a kind of like a brown shimmery shade, which I really like if I don't want too much color on my cheeks. And at this point in time, I really didn't know how to use highlighter, and I low-key still don't. Like, I'm still learning, so I like to use a shimmery blush because it gives me the shine of a highlighter. And I use that blush like over my cheeks and my nose a little bit, around my brow where you would normally put a highlight, and I use a little bit on my chin as well. I just like to blush / highlight that area too. At this point, my full face is pretty much done, and I'm going into doing my lips. So I'm just using my chestnut lip liner, also from MAC. I promise you guys I'll like start to use products from other places, but for now, just bear with me. I'm kind of obsessed with MAC cosmetics. They've just been giving, and I've been working on MAC for a good number of months now. And when you do, you just kind of like start using all the products. It takes me quite a while to blend my lips, so just enjoy. I'm going to keep quiet now.
I look like a chocolate glazed donut. Oh my god, she's a golden girl! Okay, mascara. I want to wear lashes because lashes just tie everything together. So I'll just throw on my 82s real quick. Damn. It's giving. It's actually giving everything it's supposed to give, ladies. It's a full tutorial.
No, literally, because even as I was doing this face, I was like, sorry, I don't think I'm supposed to say that, but I was really like amazed. I was like, I didn't know I could do this. Like, I knew in my head, but I didn't know. But this face was just giving. Even the pictures, I took like 300 and something selfies on this day. I kid you not. I took hundreds and hundreds of selfies. They weren't all nice, but they were all nice just because the face was good. Anyway, you will now see me struggling to do lashes, and I encourage you to watch this part too, because just because it's funny. Like, even as I was doing it, I was like, Lord, jeez, like, this lash, good fights.
Oh my god. That was a fail.
Yeah, so as you can see, I conquered the lash and the lash didn't conquer me. And I always like to just go over the rest of my face with my powder brush without any extra without any extra product at the end. Just because a lot of the time after using setting spray, I feel like I look. Sorry guys, I can't speak anymore. After using setting spray, I usually feel like I look really shiny, so I just like to go over that with my powder. I'm using some brown eyeshadow in my under eyes and just blending that out. It gives a nice, very soft, very smoky effect. And what do I do next? Mascara on my bottom lashes. This is something that I have really struggled with for a long time, and I'm now getting more comfortable with. I think sometimes I still don't do it just because I poke myself a lot in the eyes with mascara, so I try to avoid it whenever I can. But I'm getting more comfortable with it, and yeah, I'm going to say bye now.
Hi, thank you for watching my video to see how I achieved this nude, beautiful, soft, glam look.
Say bye-bye, you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Love of my life.
What's wrong with me?
Don't cry, you.